Most people, when they think of philosophy, they think of something that's either so theoretical that it has no practical use whatsoever. It's, you know, like a waste of time. And there are maybe odd bits of it that are a bit like that. But generally, it's actually incredibly useful. And one of the main things is that when you read something or you come across a decent bit of philosophy, is that afterwards you see the world in a totally different way than you did before. Because basically, philosophy is very much the art of looking at the world and making sense of it, making sense of chaos. So trying to organise things into categories, trying to make, looking at ideas and trying to make them more accurate and, you know, really understand what's going on in a conversation, really understand what it means for a certain thing to be true. And there are lots of subjects which are covered. There are things like political philosophy, which is a lot more interesting than it sounds. It's not about sort of politicians being boring as much, but the philosophy of how society is organised, the philosophy of being a leader and what makes a good leader, how you can be successful. Machiavelli wrote some very interesting stuff about that. It's the theory of structures of government, but on a very practical sort of, I'm describing that badly, on an interesting level, rather than like on a very bureaucratic level, if you know what I mean. You have also philosophy of mind, there's philosophy of religion, there's philosophy of almost any subject you can think of, and it's basically the art of the thinking part of something, not the going out and studying part of something, but the thinking about what you have in a very logical way. And I've always found it incredibly exciting, and when I've studied it or when I've been in a class with other people, the thing that everybody always says is, you know, wow, you know, once you've learned that idea, you think, well, there are so many people out there who don't understand that, you know, if only people understood that idea or had that concept. So what I'm going to try and do is make some videos of some of the more interesting concepts, so you don't have to read really horrendous books written in the 14 or 1300s in really bad English with too much Latin and appealing to metaphors and popular ideas of the day which aren't around anymore, which make it almost impossible to understand. Or so I find. Anyway, so yes, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope I've got you slightly interested in philosophy by saying that. And that's it, I think. Just to be continued.